Thank you for tuning in. My job this evening is to help. I mean, at this first stage, right? Obviously, we haven't got the strategy yet. That's coming in the next 2 weeks. But what my objective is on this session, as we go throughout these scans, is to help you to see how I use certain elements, and it's to bed down what you've been taught and to give you an understanding as to how it comes together. And that really is how I wish to present these scans. We're really looking for opportunities, okay? We're looking for trading opportunities um, within the perpetual market, which is futures, so to speak, as well as some spot. We'll go and have a look at that as we go through. And of course, as always, guys, these are open sessions. You are more than welcome. In fact, more than welcome. You're actually encouraged to ask me questions, to be involved. I, I do this all the time. Yeah, I'm a trader. I'm in the markets. Whew. Tell you what, looking forward to a holiday. This lockdown rubbish is a bit of a pain, but I'm in the markets all the time, and I actually find a lot of pleasure. And you know, I find a lot of pleasure in helping other people. I really do, and you can take that for what you want. You might think, well, he's full of it. I'm not, and that's okay. I don't mind what anyone thinks of me. I do me, you do you, but my objective is to help you. And this particular event is to help you to understand how some of these elements come together. Now, what you'll note is that on my charts, you'll see a 10 period, a 20 period, and a MACD. Now, what I want to do first and foremost is just, because this is more about setting you guys up at this early stage, all right? I want to show you how we set the charts up the way that we're going to be using and trading based on this crypto cradle trading strategy. So first things first, I'm going to come up here. The little thing there, indicators, click. I'm going to type in moving average. And we're going to go for the exponential. All right, we're going to click it twice. So we get 2 up there. And I'm also going to put in MACD. And there it is. So now that's all I use, okay? That's all I use. I'm going to go and change. So you hit a little cog, sorry, up here. It's not a clog, that would be a foot or a shoe. I'm going to change the inputs. I'm going to make the first one a 10, and I'm going to make that style-wise, let's make that black. Hit OK. Now it's set, as you can see. The second one, I'm going to make pink, nice and pink. I'm going to make that 20. Because this is our buy or sell zone, depending on the trend. Now, if you watch part 1 of the Gate.io course that I am presenting to you, you'll also note that what I do is I simplify everything. If I don't use it in my decision-making process, I just get rid of it. So this is what we're going to do in the MACD arena. We're going to take away the signal line. Don't need it. Don't use it. I'm going to take away the histogram. I don't need it, and I don't use it. So we've got 3 lines: MACD, 10 period moving average, 20 period moving average, and that is that. Okay. So I keep things extraordinarily simple, and I only do this because, look, I'll be honest. When I used to have a load of stuff on my charts, right? I used to have heaps. I was the guy that knew everything about the latest indicator or this, that, and the other. And that's what I did. Okay, someone said they can't hear anything. If you can hear me, can you please just type yes into the question box? Now, I do have a lot of people. Hi, George, Jasmine, Leah, lovely to see you here. Nathan, Yami, Dan, Paul. I'm not going to go through all the names. Someone's called themselves All-Star. Excellent. I can't say hi to everybody, but thank you for being here. You can all hear me. Yami, oh my God, what's the point of saying it? They can't hear me anyway. I'll try and reply. I think it's only you, sorry. Send privately, there we go. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to help to give you a perspective, one of which is valuable for you, one of which that is straightforward, and one that is, allows us to be decisive through objectivity. I don't think I know that might sound counterintuitive. It might sound wrong, but I can tell you after a lot of time in markets, and I've traded for 15 years, 3 of which I traded badly. 4th year, I broke even. 5th year, I finally found the person I needed to help me to develop as a trader. And this is what I've developed over the years to present to you. But I was shocking, guys. I was not very good at all, and it's because I got caught up in what I call the flashy lights. You know, when you get a baby and they got a mobile above them, and they're like, oh, they're trying to grab the frog and the cat and the bloody angel and stuff. That's what I was like. I was always reaching for something else. Where knowledge comes from persistence, understanding, and experience. And until I had the right person to show me that, I was just chopping and changing all over the place, and it will not help you. Okay. So that's the caveat as to why I have so little on my charts. You might be used to seeing a lot more. I'm not that interested in what you might be used to. And I don't say that to be arrogant or offensive in any way, shape, or form. It's just my truth. And I can only teach from a position of my understanding and my truth. All right. My price, you saw me, I just shrunk the MACD because it doesn't mean as much to me as the price. So, you little ripper, let's get stuck in and let's look at Bitcoin. Let's go start off first of all at the daily. What do we got here on the daily? It will come up in just a moment. Okay, so we talked about trend in part 1, higher low, now a higher high. Notice how it's pushed up through here, and I want to just draw a quick little level for you. I'm going to encapsulate these support levels running through here. All right, I'm going to make this a little bit, what am I doing? A little bit thicker. That's what I want. That'll do. So it's nice and easy for you to see. Support, broke down, resistance, push through. What I'm actually waiting for here is a pullback into this area. Now, we may not get it, and that's why I use multiple time frames to make my decisions. If Bitcoin pulls back from here, I'm not concerned in 1 iota. I do not care. I will position myself accordingly if the trade sets up. Okay, so I just see reading from Jasmine. Work 12 hours a day, always told to work. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got to work hard. Ever since I've been studying cryptos, I realized I don't fail at noticing trends and making money from it. That's great to hear. I just have no experience until I ran across TraderCobb. Oh, great. I've been trying to teach myself. That's a very expensive exercise. This is from a person who's done this before, okay, 4 years. I've been trying to teach myself. So having someone straight up who knows knows what to do to get me out these 12 hours. Oh, what's going on there? Yeah, okay, so you're doing 12-hour shifts, Jasmine. I understand it. I believe it or not, a lot of my clients are in a similar circumstance. A lot of them, we call them in Australia here FIFO, which is fly in, fly out. These are men and women that work very, very hard in their professions, and when they're working, they're working. They haven't got time. When they come back, they want to be able to try and chip out an earning as well, so they can eventually not have to go back to work. And I understand that more than most. And it's fantastic that you're here with Gate and myself, and I'll do my absolute utmost to support your objectives. So we've got an up, higher low, higher high. Okay, I'll pull back into here just so we all have a cool, calm, and collected mindset. If we pull back further, it's not a problem. It could be a gift, because Bitcoin running off and going parabolic, as we know it can do, is only good if we're in. And I don't mean just spot. I'm sure that most or many people within this that are on this scan will already own some Bitcoin or Ethereum or a multitude of many. And we do make money as the market moves, but there's nothing better than having a leveraged position whilst the market moves. It's also very important to have a stop loss to know where to get out. So my first point of view, and I want you to have a notepad at the ready. I got one right here. I'm going to BTC hyphen D. That means I'm keeping an eye on the daily. Okay. Now I'm going to go from the daily to the 8 hour and just work through these time frames to see exactly what it looks like. Now, I'm not quite sure why it takes so long to change between charts. It must be my end because I know Gate is a fairly fast platform, although I do have a quick internet connection. When I look at the 8, what I see is not exactly what I want, okay? And this is the thing with trading. You've got to make decisions, all right? Higher, low, higher, high. Yes, we have a trend, but it was this candle right here. It's kind of wrecked things, a bit of a spike candle. You'll hear me talk about cyclicity an awful lot. I don't yet have the cyclicity that I'm after. I'm going to jump down to the 1 hour here. See what I mean? Like we just don't have that. This is what I call cyclicity. Higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. These are the conditions where you and I can make money. When it's doing this, it's not quite so good, and that's why we work around those time frames. So for me, I've put BTC-D, which is daily. We're going to go to the next one. And we're going to scan this whole list together. And I'm going to start at the daily. Always start at the daily. Again, Ethereum, higher, low here. I'll just blow it up so it's a bit easier. So there you go. Higher, low, higher, high. So we have an uptrend as it broke through this 370 level. We have an uptrend. The one thing that I see as a potential issue, not issue, but stopper, is that there is resistance right there, 394. Ultimately, we want to see us blast through 400, right? 400. Get us through 400, and we're through a round number, which is, often does act as a psychological barrier. Let's get through there. Once we get through there, a pullback into that region is what I'm really waiting for. I'm going to jump to the 8 now just to have a little bit. Oh, little bullish candle right there in the cradle zone. So as we go through the different sections of the course, you will realize the relevance of that. It's not quite what I'm after, to be absolutely honest, and there's nothing there on that one. This candle, we were selling off, and then all of a sudden, whooshka, up we went. What I'd like to see, and this will be market wide for also maybe not market wide, but for a lot of the contracts that we're looking at, for me to have cyclicity, I need to have a series of higher highs and higher lows. Now this is a higher low, and I want to see a new higher high, which means pushing up through 400. I don't have that right now. So for me, it's a matter of getting rid of that. I do not need that in my list. Bitcoin Cash does certainly have my interest, and I'll show you why. A couple of things to note here. The first to note is this. See through here? Support, 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 and now we're moving away. The second thing to note is this. Sorry, what am I doing? Second thing to note is this one. Now I know we have broken through the upper side of that, but this has to be a little bit, it's got to be respected to a certain extent. So the number is $280. Now, from my vision, from my view and my experience, we've got a fairly clear run to $280. A fairly clear run. Now, it could pull back and move, but I'm looking for opportunities currently right now, to get long Bitcoin Cash. Higher low, higher high, pull back a little bit, and then yesterday had a really nice candle. I mean, we were up about 6% or whatever it was. So I'm waiting to see. The 8 hour is not going to present anything right now, so I'm going to move lower straight to the 1 hour. Okay. Now, if one was to have traded this, it would have been that candle right there. So for me, it's just waiting to see what goes on. If I go back to the 1 hour, just to reiterate the cyclicity conversation, I want to see this set a higher low, which means we got to push to a higher high. That would give us great cyclicity. Bitcoin Cash, not right there just yet. Okay, Uniswap. Now look at this. Okay, so with Uniswap, see how sideways this is? Lower high, lower low. It's pulled back into the cradle zone, but look at how sideways this is. I need trends. I am a trend trader, and what I am teaching you is to trade trends. This is not a trend. This has not got the cyclicity that I'm after. And even if I go to the 1, you'll see it's a mess. Look, chop, 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 chop. And don't forget, my objective here is to help you guys to see more in the markets, be more involved, trade more often, but trade well. Okay, I don't want you guys just taking trades willy-nilly. I want you to follow the rules that we're going to set ourselves. That's my objective. It'll make you a much better trader. Higher low, higher high on BSV, but still very sideways. We jump to the 8, we'll see the same thing, a bit spiky. When I say spiky, see this candle here, how it's got a big high and it's just a big spike. If I go lower, you'll see it's probably one candle. There you go. Hey, let's go to the 5 minutes. Probably a big ugly, oh, sorry, should have gone not to the 5. There you go. It's one candle, whooshka. Don't want to be trading that. That creates additional risk. Potential for slippage where you don't get filled at the levels that you wish to. So Bitcoin SV, and look, I'll be honest, this whole year, BSV has been pretty average for people like me and people like you, traders. Link, let's look at the weekly quickly. So $10, round number. Moving averages are in the correct order. It's pulled back in, it's a bullish candle right here. It's broken the high. These are positives. The daily, we have a higher low and a higher high. It's starting to pull back. Let's look at this 8 hour. I like Link. I don't like it where it is. I want this to pull back in just here. $10.50. So I'm going to write Link, L-I-N-K hyphen 8H. Yeah, that's what I'm hanging out for. Another one on the watch list, but not ready just yet. What's it called? What is it called? Yield. Whatever it's called, it doesn't really matter. Lower high, lower low, back into that cradle zone. If anything, this looks good for a potential short. Let's go to the 8 hour and see if there's any levels there. It's a bit messy in here. As you learn this strategy, you will note that there's a little bearish candle in the cradle with convergence. This could potentially be a short. Now, I don't think, as I've said a few times now, my objective is to trade what I see, not what I think. Now, what that means is that I follow my rules. Now, look, I'll be honest, there will be times where I'm looking at the market and I go, okay, it's definitely looking more bullish than bearish. But it's up to me to make sure that I manage my risk across my portfolio. There is never a bad time to have a short order on. You know how fast this market moves. You know how quickly it can just go thump and fall. Now, if I have an order in for a short and I get filled and the market falls, then hey, how you doing? We are in business, baby. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't need to have a really long move to do it. We can have a quick bam, in, profit, out, and then the market comes back in our favor. At the end of the day, as a trader, I am never overly optimistically bullish or overly pessimistically bearish. I read what's in front of me. I follow my rules. And it's only at times when I don't do that that I lose money. It's not so much losing money, because I'll lose money when the markets are trending. You know, you will have trades that don't go in your favor. That's just, you know, get with the program. You're not going to win on every trade. But what it does do is, you know, for me, it allows me to follow rules as opposed to follow heart, follow opinion, follow thought, follow people on Twitter. I often get asked, what do you think of this person on Twitter? 9 times out of 10, or 10 times out of 10 usually, also, I don't look, I'm not being arrogant, I really don't care. And that's because I've been doing this for 15 years, and there's only one person that will make my decisions, and that's me. So there's nothing right here apart from a potential short that I think's already triggered if you would have taken that. Where am I up to? Sushi. Oh, I haven't seen this for a little bit. So look, very flat. When I say flat, look at the volatility. Very little volatility. I'm not interested in trading very low volatility. If it you know got in nice and tight, I might look at a level, but there is nothing there. Zcash. First thing I'm looking for, ladies and gentlemen, is trend, and this has a trend. There is a higher low, higher high, pullback, bullish candle, right? It's broken the high. That trade would already be triggered if one was to have taken that. What I will say, however, is this. Again, you'll hear me say stalking. And stalking is not something to be frowned upon unless it's an individual. I'm looking at ZEC, and I'm going to say 1 day. Just put the D there for daily. And here's what I'd like to see. A little pullback into perhaps this 68, 67 zone, little bullish candle in there. That's what I'm after. So that's going on my watch list as well. We got the other one. Excuse me. Daily downtrending. Let's go to that 8. Ooh, okay. We do have a lower high. We haven't got a lower low yet. Let's go to the 1 hour. Okay, that kind of rules it out a little bit for now. It needs to push the new lows and then the pullback. So what we're looking for is a little pullback, and then we get short, and then the continuation. We've had the pullback already. So what I need to see is this market push lower, just head down, pull back into 15,000 would be a perfect number. Round number, big number. That's where I'd like to short from. But because it's not, it's sort of been relatively close right now, it won't make my list. Where did I get to? Atom. Where did I go? Ooh, there we go. Oh, sorry. Skip one. Can I just? No. Okay, so let's go to the 8 hour here. I've been a fan of Binance for a little while, and the reason is higher low, higher low, higher low, boom, high, high. Now I've got 3 trading strategies that I teach to clients. Yeah. Now Gate has very kindly invested in your future, invested in your education, understanding, and trading abilities by having me come and present one of these strategies. Now, there was a little breakout opportunity back here a little while ago. Let me jump back to that 1 hour again. There's not much there. I'll jump to the daily. See what I mean? Higher low, higher low, higher low, now a higher high. As much as I like the look of the chart here on Binance, and this is the differentiator, right? Between, well, I won't say me and others, but this is how I read the market. It looks very strong, ladies and gentlemen. It looks very strong. It looks very bullish. It looks fantastic. But I don't see a trade. The daily looks great. Pull back into here. Yes, I will take a trade there. The 8 hour. I would have loved to have seen a little bullish candle down off at 29, 24, or in and around this region here. Unfortunately, because it hasn't set up, because it doesn't fit my rules, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, it just is what it is, right? I can't put that in the list. So from Binance, we got to go to, we missed Atom, that's right. It's been trending well. Yeah, there you go. Here's our 8 hour, nice push on. The problem that I've got right now is, look at this. It's very messy. See this? There's no trend. That there, you're going to learn in part 3. You'll start to piece it together next week when we talk about more of the ingredients on this course, the 4-parter. Sorry, the shouldn't say the 4-parter. I'm Australian. We talk funny. You'll start to piece things together. That, in fact, is exactly what I'm teaching you, and that is the result of it. When you get it right, of course. Sometimes it will be a stop out and you'll lose money. That's how we manage our risk. But it's through here that we make our money. It's through here that we keep our money by not being active. Okay. So let's go back to that 8. I would like to see this market right now do one of 2 things. Okay. I'd like to see it pull back, and where to? If I'm going to take it on the higher time frames, I want to see it pull back into that 550 region. Sorry, not 550, 560. That's what I'm after. 3 here, back into the old highs. Look, it doesn't mean too much that it's into old highs. You will not see it as a rule on my list. It's just the right area for me, back in that cradle zone. If it pulls back in, I'll be good with that. I'm going to write it down. Atom 8. And by the way, if you can hear my wonderful, lovely, caring, fantastic, never fight children in the background, that's because of COVID. My office is in my home now. Apologies if you can hear that. I don't think you probably can, but I thought I'd caveat or make myself seem a little bit more professional by apologizing in advance. I do have 2 daughters, one 5 and one, she's 8. 8. Oh my goodness. So yeah, they fight. And I tell you what, I'm looking forward to getting myself an office. I will not lie. I love my kids, but I love working without them. Let's go to Tezos, which hasn't looked too bad of late. Look at this. See, again, there's a higher low. There's a higher high. This is going in the list immediately, XTZ. And we're going to look at this on the 8-hour. This is an 8-hour. I want to see this, and I have a very, well, I shouldn't say very, I mean, the level is very specific, but it's right here at 8:30. Sorry, 8:30. 2:30, right? Why? Test one, just dabbled around in there, but that's right in the cradle zone. It's an absolute doozy. I'll jump to the daily and I'll show you the trend here as well, of course. High or low, we've broken this high, we now have a higher high. This market looks primed. You look at the weekly's pulled back too far. So what I'm going to teach you is to read markets irrespective of the time frame. Okay, I treat the weekly the same as I would treat the 4-hour or the 8-hour or whatever other time frame. Jasmine, you get it. 8 years old. Oh my goodness. I shouldn't say it too loud because they'll probably smash through the door and barge in, and there you go. But I treat every time frame the same. Now I'm interested, definitely, 100%. This 8-hour time frame of $2.30, small bullish candle in there, and I'm the engines are running and I am ready to go. EOS is terrible. I know already because I've watched this for a long time. Look at this. This is the epitome of rubbish. Very messy. See how there's no trend. It's all over the show. Yes, there's a high low. Yes, there's a high high. I think they did something with Google or something like that. I don't care for news. Look at this chop. It's just choppy, guys. Look at this. How I can't trade that. There's no money to be made in a range of 10 cents. So I'll go straight past it. If there's something that doesn't fit what I want, I kick it straight to the curb. Like bad friends, you don't need them. Move on. Your life will be better. I don't know. Okay, the daily's making it difficult to see. Again, no cyclicity, no real hint of a good trend. I'm going to move on. And it's as simple as that. We just kick it if we don't like it. Now, on that, Jasmine, and not just Jasmine, a couple of people, they've kicked EOS and they've moved into other markets. And that's fine. What I want you to be very aware of is that my objective, I manage my own portfolio, I manage my company's portfolio, and I trade both. Okay, trading is I'll trade spot till the cows come home. I don't care. I'll trade anything that sets up well. But the beauty of margin is that you don't need to have as much exposure to the exchange because obviously risk comes in different forms. So risk comes from third party or counterparty risk, which is obviously holding it on the Gate platform. Now, Gate's been around for a long time, and I believe they had some issues early days, but they have certainly recovered and bounced back with a vengeance. So they're a fantastic platform and one that I do use. For me, however, I will say this. I will read spot the same way as I read margin, but I will manage my investment portfolio different to how I trade. Okay, you wear a different hat. Okay, it's like being the teacher at school and being the parent at home. Sure, there's things you want to teach your kids. Sure, there's certain things that will transcend, but they are different areas. I treat them differently. So yeah, what you can learn from how to read a market and how to structure what you do from what I teach you will transcend both borders, but it does require somewhat of a different hat when it comes to risk and when it comes to stop losses and when it comes to your reward ratios. You'll learn that over time, but I just want to make that very, very clear. Litecoin finally starting to do something after a year that has been, if there's one word for it, it is lackluster. Look at this. Can't trade. Oh, a little bit. It's been very, very average. All right. There's a higher low, there's a higher high. We're above the magic $50 mark. Why is it magic? Well, let me show you. Boom, boom, boom. You can see roughly through there resistance, pop, resistance through here. And we're still a little bit struggling with it. It's above 50, and while it's above 50, it is on my radar. what I want in a perfect world, and what you've got to remember is that as a trader, you do live in a perfect world. And let me explain that. You live in a perfect world in the sense that the money you trade is your money. No one has a gun to your head saying you must trade every day. Okay. No one has a gun to your head saying you must do this, 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 or this. You educate yourself, and I'll help you with that happily. But you need to make your decisions. And for me, there's a saying that I've got. You'll write this down. I think in part 2, I'll get you to write it down, but you can write it down now if you want. Plan your trade and trade your plan. So the best way to take emotion out of trading, which is the reason why most people FOMO, overtrade, don't manage their risk, it's based on emotion. We need to eliminate that emotion. So the best way to do that is to plan out what you want. When you know what you want to take a trade, all you have to do is have patience. Here's what I want. I want Litecoin to push on higher. I wanted to clear. It's clear it just got itself in a trap, but I wanted to clear this mishmash of licorice all sorts. I want to push on. Give me some blue sky. Let's get to say, and it doesn't need to be precise, by the way, but get me up around 54. That's this, then a higher low, and then I'll have a higher high. That next pullback into say 52, boom. That's what I want. If it fits the rules, that's what I want. Okay, so it's where I've found sanity in my career when there may not be a trade to take right now, is it's about that planning phase. Now, I won't put Litecoin into my portfolio, sorry, into my watch list right now. I won't, because it's still got what I call a lot of work to do. It has to prove to me that it has the ability to provide me with an opportunity that I am willing to take. The market needs to prove to me, as opposed to me needing to prove to anybody else or anything else. Don't forget that. It's got to come to you. You are the referee of the game. You set the rules. You follow the rules. It's up to you. I don't want to put this in my list yet, but I tell you what, we break this old high here, 51, 59, we push on well. That next pullback, ladies and gentlemen, I will be all over it like cheese on toast. It's not there yet. CRV, isn't that a little Toyota? A car or something? Okay, we'll hit the daily. Oh, look, there's not a great deal there. It's obviously had a very large fall from grace, the poor buggers, whoever they are, whatever they do. I'm not interested. It's too flat. There's nothing of interest there for me. CRV to Ample, or what's it called? Actually, it doesn't matter what it's called. Again, there is no cyclicity. It's had a good day. Let's not beat around the bush. But do I have anything to work with? No, it's one fell swoop, one big move. I do not chase volume. I do not chase anything. It chases me. XRP, let me blow this puppy up to give some perspective. Actually, if I blow it up, I can't use my drawing tool, so give me one moment. Horizontal Ray. Hi, Ray. It's nice to meet you. There we go. Let's throw that up, and let's throw that up and make it nice and large. So what I've got here is I've got resistance, and that's a terrible looking line. Let's make it look a lot more attractive by hitting it like that. Now, I have a number of Craigisms. My name is Craig. I'm an Australian man. I like hunting. I like surfing. I like fishing. I like being outside. I also swear sometimes, and I apologize in advance if it slips out. But I also have some things that make you remember stuff. And sorry, for some reason, Alexa's talking to me. Stop, Alexa. Alexa, stop. Alexis, stop. There we go. Okay, technology. When I see a break like this, yeah, there's a region, yeah. I call it a bee's dick break. So this is when I talk about my breakout strategy, which I'm not teaching you throughout this Gates presentation, I know, but I just want to make it clear about a couple of things. I call it the bee's dick break, and I say it not to be crass, not to be crude, not to offend, not to upset. It's because you'll remember it. How big is a bee's dick? I would suggest it's very small. Why? Because bees are small. Now, if you want to get into the science about how big a bee is and how big its appendage is, fine, knock yourself out. But it's there for a reminder. If it's broken through a little bit, I'm fine with the bee's dick break. Right here is what I'm going to go with. That's a bee's dick break. See how it's just a little bit through? I can't call this a bee's dick break because that's like a horse. That ain't a bee. When I drag it up here and you see that little tiny nodule there, that's what I call a bee's dick break. And that, when we talk about support and resistance, resistance 2 tests above, remember the ceiling above us, and support being the ground of which we walk on, a little bee's dick like that, I'm cool to have it. XRP, as much as it won't go on my watch list, here's what I want. Again, the plan. Higher low, high. Higher low, push through here. We push through there, we pull back in at 26 cents, we get that little cradle candle. Now, we may actually have the cradle strategy before this sets up, so we may just be in luck, but it won't go on my list just yet. Ethereum Classic has been pretty average for a long time, unless I'm wrong, and I'm not. So I always start at the daily. Look how messy that is. It's very sideways. No interest, no point in wasting time on something so pathetic. We're looking at AVAX. I don't even know what that is, but it doesn't matter because I can trade anything with these strategies. It doesn't matter what the time frame, it doesn't matter. Higher low, higher high. I don't see enough cyclicity here just yet on that 8 hour. The daily needs to do more for me, so I shall pass. See how fast I'm able to make decisions because I've got an understanding of what I'm looking for. That candle is unfortunate. Somebody has gone in with a large order. So when you see a candle like this, 9 times out of 10, what that means is someone's gone in and said, I want a 50 grand position. And they'll wipe out the entire order book to get it. And then it falls straight back down because there's no one else to fulfill all these orders. It hurts your account. And that's why a lack of education ends up being a lack of capital. This is a nice trend, but there's nothing there for me on algo at this stage. Oh my gosh. OMG, of course. See this? Again, no trend, we move on. We just move straight past it. No need to waste time on markets that aren't great. Now, this is not too bad. Lower high, lower low, lower high, bearish candle in the cradle. Now, you don't know the strategy at this point, but I can tell you right now, this is the sort of thing we're looking for. I'm going to go down to the 1 hour and see if we were lacking a little bit of liquidity in here, and that's going to kill it for me. See, when you look at these gappy charts, the reason I don't use a volume indicator, and by the time we do our next scan, I will have a complete list of the most liquid markets for Gate. All right, I thought I had it, but I stuffed something up and I didn't have it exactly because I don't want you trading this. Okay, there's not enough volume. Look at this. Look at the numbers. Really low numbers. And if you want to learn more about order books, which I don't read them. I look at the, you see, oh, buy wall, sell wall. That's what people that don't know how to trade talk to. And I don't mean to say that offensively. It's that I'll talk matter of fact. I know how to read an order book, and all I can see is that there's not enough there for me to get the position size that I'd like. Okay, so when it goes from here to here, that means that all the way from $12.31 to $12, all the way from $112.31 to $113.53. There was no trading volume between those two. That chart to me says high risk. High risk for a man who manages a portfolio. Go away. Why are you doing that? Go away. Man, I'm not interested, I'm about reducing risk and making money, not increasing risk and punting. Monero, on the 1 hour, I wouldn't trade the 1 hour. It is a little bit thin, but I tell you what, I'd go for the 8. Why? Because I'm currently long. Yep, I'm currently long Monero. Higher low, higher high, pull back in, round number 124, bullish candle, broke the high. 1-to-1 has been achieved. That means I got no risk on this trade now. This is what I call good cyclicity. Notice how it's a bit spotty back here, like a teenager with pimples. When the volume comes in, look at how pretty it becomes. Yeah. This is the sort of thing I like. This is the sort of thing I trade, and this is the reason on my left-hand side where I have my actual account, there's a lot of green on it. We're looking for this. I certainly wouldn't suggest you go and do anything with it now, but it's a good example of what I'm teaching you. Not right now, nothing there for me on Monero. Tron has been average. Look at that. No, thank you. Very sideways. What do we do with that? We throw it straight in the bin. Straight in the bin. Right. OKB is not the kid's rapping name. Too thin for me. Not enough volume going on there. I'm not going to trade a market like that. Second to that, it is also very sideways. I'm not interested. See how I got a different viewpoint. I'm here to say, I know what, oh, sorry, I've already done that. I know what I want. And if I don't get, I'm like a toddler. If I don't get what I want, I'm walking out. There's nothing here on BTM. There's no cyclicity. There's not enough trend. I'm not interested in that either. The beauty of this is it allows you to get to a point where you know what you want. You know who you are, you know your rules, and you strike like a cobra when the time is right. When the time is not right is when people lose money. Most people can make money when the market moves up. Not as many, I'd say probably 20% know how to make money when the market moves down. You're going to be in that 20%. But what a lot of people do is out of all of that, probably out of the entire up and down, a lot of people don't know when to keep their hands warm. Now, let me make sense of that. Keeping your hands warm is sitting on them. It means doing nothing. And as a trader, if you wish to be profitable, and Gate wants you to be profitable, that's why they're investing in your education through me. I want you to be profitable. You want you to be profitable. So it requires a certain amount of restraint to know when not to be in, because when the market goes up, yay, we all make money. When the market goes down, a couple of people make money. But when the market goes sideways, people that go into that market with the same gusto as they would if it was going up or down, you'll give your profits back. And never say to yourself, oh, it's the market's money, so therefore I'll punt it. No, this is the job. This is your business. I'm not going to leave. I'm sorry, I'm not going to touch HT here either. You've got to change that mindset if you are in that mindset. And I'm here with you to help you with that. Serum, gee whiz, I did very well out of this market. I'll tell you right now, I absolutely killed the pig. I still own a bunch, and there's no interest for me down here. Why? There is a downtrend, but there's nothing for me to work with. Excuse me. Doge, the good old do nothing until it does something. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Check this out. Do nothing, do something. Two sideways, I will kill that straight in the face. Sounds harsh. Should be. It is what it is. Pearl. Oh, hello. What are you doing here, little Pearly? Two sideways. Again, we can go straight past that. Do you see how brutal I am? If there is no trend, I kick it straight in the rubbish. There is no trend here. There is nothing that I would be interested in at all. We have got a solid little watch list thus far. Where am I up to? Pearl, band. Dash. All right, what do we got with Dash? No, again, no trend, so we just go straight on. SXP, so what's that? Solana, sideways, no. And this is what you're going to spend most of your time doing, okay, is just killing things off. Daily, if you look at this right now, I will tell you right now, when it comes to margin trading, spot's a different game, okay? Spot's a different game. When it comes to margin, there's no volume here. Look at this. There's nothing there. I mean, this thing is what? It's 7 cents, and there's 120 on the bid and offer and 250. We're talking, yeah, we can't trade this right now. And although I am paid by Gate to be here, I'm also a man of my word, and I speak truth. I would never trade this at its current volume. Now, don't take that as I would never trade this contract, because if Iris, whatever this bloody thing does, if it has an announcement and starts to move, well, guess what? Volume will come into that. We'll see we'll see less of this and more of proper trading volumes. We'll see, and I don't look at volumes on a indicator. I look at volumes through what I'm looking at on the chart, right? I will never say no to anything. It's just right now there is not enough interest there for me to warrant anything really. Dead set. An index market, DeFi, too thin. Skip that. And like I said, next time I go through this, I will have a much more liquid group of markets to look at, but it doesn't matter so much at this early stage. It's more about how we read trend. That's what I'm trying to get to, yeah? Trying to get to the point where we're looking at trend. That's what this first session is about. Volume would come later. If volume comes later, Jasmine, yes, that will be something that I would sink my teeth into. I am here to trade what I see. I'm not here to think. When I see these charts like this, no one's traded this. So that's a straight no. It's a great contract, privacy coins. So this is your Moneros and whatnot. Again, not enough volume. And this has got nothing to do with gate. This is gold. This is gold. There'll be nothing here. Yeah, there's no gold. People don't trade gold in crypto. Not very often. Nest. What is Nest? It's too thin. Again, see this? This is a daily chart. Nobody trading for 5 days. I'm not going to start them. And again, I just want to reiterate, this has got nothing to do with gate. Ant is a dead dog too. And the final one, oh, it is Ant. So guys, wow, 46 minutes. Apologies for taking so long. They will become shorter as the weeks go by. Oh, go away. Why is that still there? These scans will become shorter. And the reason they'll become shorter is because you will have more understanding and depth of knowledge. Okay. I will come to you with a list of liquidity that is important for us as traders. Right now, I don't need you to be going out there and trying to take trades. You trade your own methodology, your own strategies. Absolutely do what you do. But I will say this, after part 3 of this course, and after part 2, you'll see a lot more. So it's learn the chapter. I'll show you how we use it. Learn the chapter. I will show you how. That's week in and week out. Stay tuned in on the Gate YouTube page, because that's where they're posting, and Gate socials. And if you want to find out more about me, I'm TraderCobb, TraderCobb. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Twitter. But at the end of the day, it's a progression, guys. And it's not about shooting straight to the top. This is not get rich quick. This is, I will teach you what you need to learn. Okay. I've compacted 15 years of this stuff into these checklists. So stick with me and I'll stick with you. Ask your questions. I will answer those. You have a fantastic evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. And what I do ask is very simple. It's been a really hard year for a lot of people, and it continues to be. You're a friend of somebody, you're a daughter, you're a mother. Speak to the people that you're closest to. Make sure they're okay. Mental health is a big deal, and it's up to us to look after our friends and family. Please make sure that your friends and family are okay, because the person that you think is rock solid and good as gold, they might not be. So give love, be nice, be caring, and I'll see you in the next session next week. Have a fantastic evening, morning, daylight, whatever it may be, guys. I'll bring more of this. I'll give you my all. Ask your questions and have a fantastic day. Bye for now.